In this week's video, we'll take a drive out to the Washington State Peninsula. Here's what's coming up.
Campers, cop cars, spooky cop cars, blurry aggravated assault, more campers, crossing a bridge, stigmatism simulator.
And you're not gonna believe this.
Even more left lane.
Look at that sign.
Campers.
Hello, boils and ghouls. This is NPC Driver. I am exposing the unnecessary congestion and dangerous situations that plague our highways. This week, I was over on the Washington State Peninsula. Highway 16 is consistently congested and littered with accidents, purely due to the oblivious drivers who are just totally checked out and clog the arteries of one of the most important parts of American infrastructure as well as our daily lives. They always do this. The car that was camping gets over, but then the car behind them doesn't drive any faster at all. A lot of times they're riding, the car behind the camper is riding the camper's ass, and then the camper gets over and that car does nothing. They just stay in the fast lane. They don't drive any faster. Having had several opportunities to speed up or move over, there's just pandemonium behind this van now as people are jockeying around trying to filter through this arbitrary congestion. You know this guy is not getting over until his exit, so what do? You f***ing pass him. And I don't remember this, but according to the rear view camera, that van is a fireball now. Ourselves another one. Another camper. Nobody in front of him. Now, this is at least one driver, but more than likely it's what typically happens, which is you have one driver clogging the highway, and behind them, fellow highway clogging enthusiasts will sort of sprinkle into the building line of cars and actually run defense for the camper. So you end up with these incompetence clusters that consist roughly 30% of drivers that are just in that lane for various reasons, but none of them are to like actively pass or anything. And so you get a significant portion of those drivers, they just totally check out and they outsource their awareness to the cars around them rather than actively driving and observing. So they just cause these demo derbies just attempting basic shit like a lane change. You see, herds don't generally like to change direction, so this section of road is just sustained fucking chaos. So, just a quick rant. On this round trip, I couldn't believe how many police cruisers I saw. Some posted up, presumably monitoring traffic, and it always makes me wonder, why is it only ever speeding and non-moving violations like tinted windows or something, and never cars that are causing congestion? So I just want to make it clear that the reason I don't tend to cut these videos is because I don't want it to look like I'm having to cherry pick and exaggerate the frequency of this stuff, but also I literally just don't have to because it is that frequent. Case in point, you can see the congestion here. This is an incompetence cluster. There's someone totally oblivious at the front of all of this, and then only a percentage of the cars are actually even trying to pass. Many of them are in the left lane to do exactly what they're doing, which is check out and outsource their driving awareness to the herd and the signals of the cars in front of them, just like I talked about earlier.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight.
Gander at the amount of derp in that rear view. Behold, an emergent glob of cellular automata encapsulating the other drivers who just want to get by.
Baby, you give me ice and
So the cockpit voice recorder didn't pick it up, but I just got an alert about a speed trap up ahead. Perfect opportunity to blend in, and let's see if anything happens with this work truck joyriding in the passing lane as he drives past the speed trap.
Nothing happened.
Baby, you give me midnight.
Alright folks, place your bets. What will the truck driver do? Will he, 1, speed up to stop me from passing him? 2, move to the right lane? Or 3, will he just sort of continue traveling in the passing lane? Ready? Let's find out.
Number 3, he kept camping.
I know what you're gonna say. I didn't give him time to pass. But keep in mind that people telegraph their moves, and anyway, that was sped up, so it's a little more time than it looked. But more importantly, I knew you would say that, and that's why I have a rear view camera as well. Incredibly well-preserved shopping cart considering its location. Moving on, we've already caught up to a truck with nobody in front of him, and at this point I'm starting to feel kind of like, come on. It hasn't really been the case in this video, but there are lots of times that I catch up to a car that's driving slower than me, but they're passing cars going under the speed limit to the right. They do their thing, they get over, and it's like, okay, that's legit. But when you're in the passing lane for miles and have plenty of opportunities to move over and let those behind you get by without any inconvenience to yourself, that's when you're becoming a part of the problem. And you'll see these people in the comments sections of the more popular videos. They argue that they are going the speed limit or maybe going over it a little bit, but that isn't the point. The point is to allow cars moving at different speeds to sort themselves out. Otherwise, cars are catching up to other cars, and then you get these impassable clumps that just snowball. Alrighty, moving on. This is later that day, heading back to what I guess you would call mainland Washington, eastbound Highway 16 in any case, just passed through Gorst. The amount of people jockeying and weaving to get around left lane campers on this section of highway, honestly, it probably takes the cake. I think it does. Does anybody know of a worse section of highway? Or better yet, does anyone have any idea why the left lane etiquette is so bad through this section of highway? And here we go. And that driver's probably yelling at us for driving around them. JK, I doubt they're even paying attention.
Time travel.
Oh look, another fucking work truck. Someone go check to see if it's the same truck from earlier in the video. Seriously. Doesn't really look like there's room for me to squeeze in between the merging traffic with those guys, so here I am, stuck behind the work truck. Finally, an opportunity to get around and seize the opportunities and freedom that life has to offer. And then wait, look at this shit up ahead.
Mother of God.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. It's incomprehensible to me that anybody could have this many cars stuck behind them and be okay with it. This is your congestion, Washington. It's not just systemic congestion due to there being too many people or just bad road planning. There's that, but this is it. This is congestion emerging right in front of us. This cluster is going to mush into merging cars at the next on-ramp, and cars will continue to catch up from behind. Boom. Congestion. Be it ineptitude, ignorance, or main character syndrome, this is all it takes. All right, rather than cut in front of someone or slow down, get in the back of the line, and hope that this truck driver lets us pass these other cars, I'm going to gamble on the upcoming off-ramp. Maybe this car will take it and I can regain my freedom. Hell yeah, got it. Shame to this driver and anybody else that does this. Okay, and one more time, let's speed this up a little bit.
Time travel real quick.
People in the comments will argue that other drivers just need to slow down, but you need to let law enforcement deal with that. That's their job, not yours. It's not your place to dictate how people use the roads and dictate the flow of traffic. Thumbnail shot real quick.